That's a very broad question. What I stand for, or what I find acceptable, what I stand for is I'm opposed to fundamentalist extremist Sharia. I'm opposed to it, wholeheartedly opposed to it. I believe it affects the freedoms of everybody. I believe victims of it are Muslim women in this country, and I believe that the laws in this country should protect them. It's too in-depth to really discuss where you're going.
I'm interested.
Thank you very much.
If you ask me what part I agree with, what part I don't.
Do you agree with halal cooking?
Can I just add to that? At Quilliam, we have been working on developing Islam, which is at home in Britain. Not just Quilliam, but many other progressive Muslim organisations in this country. In accordance with centuries of Islamic history, where Islam adapted to local customs and nations. And when we talked about that to Tommy and others, and when we talk about that to people up and down the country, they instinctively understand. A lot of Islam in this country is dominated by cultural baggage, medieval jurisprudence, old ideas like killing apostates and others, etc. And we have pushed reform arguments from within Islam and Islamic scholarship about that. And I do believe the vast majority of British Muslims and British citizens understand that religion can be at home in this country and be faithful to its core values as well as be loyal to its country.
Kevin. Well, I think what everybody seems to be missing the point here is what we're doing here is we've just made a massive historical leap of faith with what we believe to be the right people. These are good men and women from Quilliam. We've met them, we've spoke to them, we've examined. You need to look at what they've been achieving and what they're doing and what they stand for. They've done more to challenge Islamist fundamentalism and extremism than anybody else. And what myself and Tommy have done is that we've made the conscious decision before it gets out of hand to make the leap and work with Muslims to bring about a solution. So if we're being condemned for making that leap, well, I don't think you should be condemning us. Somebody somewhere should realise that what we're doing is the right thing to do because we believe and know it's the right thing to do. Now, if we don't do this, where do you think this is going to end up? In 5 to 10 years, you're going to see a sectarian type of combat conflict, which we don't want, which nobody wants. So what we're looking to do is to skip that, is to avoid that at all costs, because nobody wants it. So what we're looking to do is to find solutions to the problems, and we can only do that by working with Muslims as human beings, as people. We're not against Muslims, we don't hate Muslims. These are great people. I've spoken back to people like Norman's not here, but great people that we're talking to. And what we need to do is, although it's a leap of faith from us, but it's a leap of faith in the right way, because if we don't do this, and if we don't succeed and we fail, what we're doing is we're handing down to our children and our children's children the mess, and it's catastrophic mess, and it will be catastrophic mess. So what we're doing is, it's got to be right. And I don't see how we can be condemned for it, because people need to understand that this is the way forward, and we believe it to be the way forward, because it has to be. Working together.
If you've already asked a question,